let's get into it. My vision boards and whatever I was trying to believe in my mind didn't actually work until I started to think more about feelings. Really important if you understand what kind of feelings you're gonna have at that moment when you choose those things, or when you're gonna live in your dream house, or drive your dream car, or have your dream business, or have a relations, or have a family, or have a child. Unless you actually spend some time to understand the actual feelings, you might be imagining things, you might be putting out pictures, but many times it might be not that successful because our brain takes it differently. It actually believes in that emotions. It actually takes it without specific times. It doesn't see time out there, but it sees this emotion and these feelings, and it can completely transform your vision board game or your manifestation, whatever you want to call it. Then the other thing that completely changed it for me, obviously, was just starting a vision board, printing out pictures. Also, it was setting up specific dates and writing everything in my notebook, not just making a vision board, but writing things I want to achieve in my notebook, but in the present tense, as it already, happened, not as it will happen somewhere, who knows when, because that's exactly how it will stay. If you write it as it already happened, it will. Or if you, obviously if you don't do any work at all towards it, it's not gonna happen. You still need to do the work. Also, write down a specific date when you want this thing to happen. That way it will motivate you more. That way it will look more serious, think further a little bit. But also, if you want to take it even further to the next level, you will have to break it down. But please don't be like flying in the clouds completely. I know it can be pretty exciting. Write it down, but make it a little bit more realistic. Not like too realistic, but write down the date. And make sure that you can break it down to smaller dates and break it down into small tasks that you can do to achieve those dreams and goals. So the crazy part about that is when our brain actually sees this big, unachievable dream, it doesn't see any path to that, right? And honestly, we don't need to have the path. God have it for us, and we don't really have to worry about that. But what happens when we break it into smaller tasks? Our brain doesn't necessarily look at it anymore as at something completely off. It looks at it as something more achievable. It started to see that actually, it seems very real. It looks very realistic. It's possible. So it shifts our mind into that state that we need. It shifts it into believing that it's possible. And then it's easier to think about those feelings that I mentioned earlier. And it's easier to just believe that that's gonna be your life one day, right? If I would ever think about back in times that I would be living in this country, in this state, having all these amazing people around me, I would probably never believe it back then, right? Do those plans, vision boards, write it down, and make it happen. Don't forget to subscribe. See you soon.